Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Very good. Thanks for calling.
Yes, of course. I've been a big fan for a while, so it was convenient that I went on Fresh and Fit. So,
Thank you so much. So basically, you appeared at the beginning of the year. Now, how did you end up on the show?
so basically, what had happened was, I had she's my best friend, one of my best friends. She lived out where I live in right now. I live in New Jersey, so she moved out to Miami around like November, September of last year. And when she moved out to Miami, she was like, she had her own apartment, so she was looking for something to financially like support her. So she went on this site where it was like a dating type of site, and it was for financially,
Sugar
like
Daddy.
relationships. Yeah.
All right.
And so she met Fresh on that site,
Dude, that's awesome.
and yeah, I'm pretty sure they previously had gotten exposed for that. Like I think a year ago, how they had like a whole dating show, but they were found on this app. So it was kind of contradicting. But she had hung out with him a few times, but it was mostly like they were more friends than anything. So she got pretty close with him, and she ended up flying me out to Miami to visit her for about like a few days. And that's when I had met Fresh myself. So I'm not gonna lie, like he is a very nice person in
Fresh seems
person.
very
From
nice. I mean, he and he
yeah,
and he just, he's just kind of there, right? I mean, he's not a very sharp guy, and God bless him for that, right?
yeah, and I also we also found out that he actually owns the podcast. It's not Myron. Myron's fit, by the way.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
actually maybe you can shed light on some questions we had because we noticed that Fresh had a lot more followers, and he
Mhm.
seems to be wealthy. And I was wondering
Yes,
how did he
yes.
get? What's his background?
So basically, what had also, by the way, like I spoke to Sam when I before I came on, but the reason why I called in was because I saw your videos for a while, and you guys were asking questions that like I knew the answers to, and I was like, I have to call you guys in.
Hmm.
But basically, he's the one that recruits, like him and his team recruit the girls, but it's mostly like Walter that goes to like these events at clubs. So he goes to the clubs, and he's the one that goes out there to like, I guess, like advertise them and stuff. I don't know exactly what I don't know, but he's the one that goes out, and Myron just like stays behind at home and doesn't really do anything. So
So
like Walter, yeah,
that's so. And so Fresh is actually the brains behind the operation. He's the secret
yeah,
mastermind. He's the genius. He's running the operation.
Picking coconuts in Barbados.
I mean, coconuts in
yeah,
Barbados, man. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
yeah, yeah. He goes out, and the craziest part too is that he went out to clubs, and my friend had tagged along with him a few times because he invited her out with him, but. He doesn't drink, neither does Myron, but they go out to these clubs to like, I guess, like speak to people, and like they don't drink like a sip of liquor, like they refuse to.
That's so fucked up. Well, you know why? They're trying to find drunk girls to take advantage
Yeah, of
of.
course.
Holy
Yeah,
shit,
I
that's
was.
so creepy.
Yeah. But when I had flown out to Miami, my first day there, I slept the whole day. But my second day, me and her had gone out to like a little hotel pool party. And after that, we went. He invited us back to his apartment to have like just to hang out with him and stuff. Because I had talked to him over the phone a few times, but when we went to his apartment, we spoke to him. I met his dog and stuff. He was very cool, down to earth. And then my friend had asked like if we could be on the podcast, and he was like, "Okay, like you guys can come on." So we went on like 2 days later, and then that's when I had my whole experience, like before, during, and after on the podcast.
So
But
what
yeah.
I'm hearing so far is Fresh is the brains. He's actually a sweet guy, which I believe.
Mhm.
You know, I think the whole funny thing that you're touching on is how they complain about women being gold diggers, but they're finding women to date on gold
Exactly.
on sugar daddy websites. It makes no
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. And like the more I get into this stuff, like I kind of had like my own debate with Myron off camera. Like it's just like they're very, I could say Fit is a very insecure man from my
Oh
experience with
yeah.
him. But
Oh yeah.
like it's like it's a very hypocritical podcast. I mean, it's already known, but like it's disgusting. I don't know. I just can't stand them.
All right, so tell me about the day because I know you had some interesting run-ins with Myron, aka Fit. So tell
Yeah.
me about the day of the podcast leading up to it. Let's start there.
So the day of the podcast, we went, they have the podcast in like this apartment building. So when we got there, they basically told us the floor to go up to. So when we got up there, you walk in and right away, like they tell you to stay quiet, like stay silent, you can't speak. and they had
Was
like
the
a
show
segment
live?
going on. Yeah, it was live. So they were
Okay.
telling us to stay quiet, and then that's when they had us fill out like the consent form, like to be on camera. And they told us to take off our shoes. They said that there's no shoes and no vaping, because they said that if you vape, they think the fire alarm's gonna go off. And then
That's not
that's
true.
after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after that, they finished the segment, and that's when Walter came over to me and my friend, and then all the girls started coming in. And they had like this, I believe he was the sound tech guy, because he kept telling us to speak into the mic, but he told us the rules. So he came up to us and he told us, listen, like when you go on, you have to speak into the mic. You can't interrupt Myron. They said that you can disagree with him until the sun comes up, as long as you wait for your turn and you let him speak. That's what they said. And they said that no shoes, of course, and you can't look at yourself in the monitor, like, or the chat. And then there was they also took our phones before we went live. Like they took all of our phones in a basket, so we couldn't use our phones.
This guy really
And
thinks
then
the dude thinks he's like Dave Chappelle or something. Like the way they have that
yeah,
locked down and stuff is pretty incredible for a small time podcast.
yeah, so it was, so they finished the segment, and then that was the time that we all like mingled with the girls to get to know each other and stuff. And then there was this other guy that worked for him. I just know that he's the one that does the streaming before the live to show people like what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. And he's mostly like the advertiser, like on social media. He just controls, I believe that's what he does. But he came up to me and my friend, and he offered us alcohol. He said, like, do you guys want to drink? And I was like, no, thank you. Cause like, you know, like I've drank in high school and stuff like that, but I knew I was going on a podcast. So I knew I wanted to be coherent when I was like on live.
So this is before you
And
go on. You're
yeah, this is
19
all
years
before.
old, and they're offering
Mhm.
you alcohol. That's classy.
Yeah, and then so they offered me a White Claw, so I was like, no, thank you. And they were like, come on. So like I just took the White Claw and I opened it and pretended like, you know, like, oh yeah, I have a White Claw.
Pressured you, in
And
fact, to take an alcoholic beverage. We love that.
yeah, and then after that, the one guy, he came out with like a tequila bottle. I don't know where he got this bottle from, but he was like, oh, who wants to take a shot with me? And the two other girls were like, no, thank you. And then he looked over at me and my friend, and he was like, come on, guys, come on, like, come on, take a shot with me. Don't make me do this by myself. And so my friend was like, you know what, whatever, I'll just do it. So he could stop asking, basically. And she took the shot with him. And then from there on, like they just did all the advertising and like like taking pictures of us for the thumbnail. And Myron came out, and actually like he's pretty tall. I told Sam this like when I was like telling her the notes and stuff. He's a very tall person in person. But he came out, and I was like, what, not expecting him to look the way he did. And Walter came up to me and he said to me, do you want to go on a double date with me and Myron? And I said, with who? And he said, your friend. So they wanted to go on a double date with my friend, me, and Fresh and Fit. And they said that they wanted to vlog it. And then I
Vlog
obviously
it.
denied. Yeah, they
Break
were like, we're gonna
invasion
vlog.
vibes. Remember he used to do that? So again,
Yeah,
you're
and
19, he's 35, and
mhm.
he's trying to take you out on a date.
So yeah, Walter was the one that approached me on it. Mind you, I didn't say a word to Myron, so I never like knew who. Like I didn't know him in person. I knew him from like social media, but like he never spoke to me the whole time until we got on the podcast. So Walter came up to me like with this proposition of we're gonna go on a vlog, and ooh, like it's gonna be a big deal. And I simply was like, no, like I'll pass on it, simply because I don't want to be associated with them, like
Yep.
at all. Like
Smart.
so I was like, yeah, I'll think about it. And then after that, Myron came over and he said, can you guys believe Ethan Klein just did a video about us? Da, 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 da. And then that's when I was smiling because I was like, I'm a fan. So I was just staying
You're like, I'm
quiet.
gonna
And I
end
looked,
up on his show talking about this.
yeah.
What, by the way, was he excited or was he like pissed about
No,
it?
no, no, no. Well, he was like laughing, but the thing with him is like, if I listen, I don't have my PhD or anything, but I think he's very easy to read, that he laughs over his insecurities. Like it's so obvious how like, oh yeah, ha, 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 I'm not mad about this, but he clearly is.
Right,
And
I see.
he like tries to make it, he does it several times when women debate him, he just laughs over it, but he makes himself look 10 times more stupid. But he did it like that. He was like, oh my God, can you believe Ethan? What a guy. He's talking about me, blah, 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 blah. And I was smiling like on the couch, and I was next to Walter, and I look over at Walter and I said, so you guys going to go on the podcast? And he was like, we're going to think about it. And then that's when I said to
Cowards.
Walter, and I said to Walter, well, I actually watched the H3 podcast. So, And he was
Uh-oh.
like, yeah, that guy, yeah, I don't know. They were just very like, they just switched the subject right away. So
By the way, I just want to
from
note how creepy
mhm,
it is that they're trying to get you group of girls uh, alcoholed up when the two of them don't drink. I mean, that is
yeah,
so messed up. Not just from like, first of all, they trying to make you guys look dumb on the show and them look
yeah,
smart.
exactly.
And then he's also trying to take you out on a date. I mean, the whole thing is just weird and inappropriate.
And vlog it, I guess. I don't even know why.
And what?
But and vlog it, I
Oh yeah, and
guess.
vlog it because they got to prove that we're fucking. Yo, we get chicks, bro.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
Yeah.
But she so after that, like, and like they started talking about you in the H3 podcast. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna talk about it today. So they added it to their segment at the end of the show. And that's when I went on the show. They started, and like the whole time I felt like I was sweating because like the monitor is huge, like right next to you. So like I'm trying not to look into this camera. And they start the show. It was very painful to like to sit through the whole thing because like I knew the whole reason why I wanted to be on the show was because I didn't know who they were until the day before when I did my research, and I was like, I would love to go on this podcast and like make them look stupid in some type of way. And so I went on the podcast, and then they did like these questions like, oh, is it okay for a guy to have a side girl? And I was like, no. And then he said this, they said the same thing for a girl, like, can a girl have a side guy? And I said, no, like, I think it's equal when you're in a relationship. Like, there's respect on both
Fascinating
ends.
conversation, by the way.
Yeah,
Is
no,
it
great
okay to cheat on your
discussion.
partner? Go ahead, yes or no.
No, it was a great discussion, like the title. But
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, right.
he and he so it was they said something in the beginning where like they call it a plant where they know that some I think they picked up on it now some girls go on the show to like pretend that they're interested to like debate them. So over some time I think Myron picked me out of the crowd and he was like, oh, you he made a joke about the Sims. He said that, oh, I think you play the Sims because you want to make it like an all girl world, like basically calling me a feminist. And
The worst
I
insult, of course, to levy
yeah, and I was
against a
like,
woman.
yeah. And I just laughed and I was like, yeah, okay. And then when I had said the whole thing about a girl having a side guy and a guy having a side girl, I said, I think that both a man and a woman should be equal in a relationship where you guys need to respect each other. And he basically said, so you think men and women are the same? And I said, no, I don't think
That's
men and
so
women are the
funny. That's it.
same.
Dude, the dude is like, he has one trick.
Mhm.
He literally just tries to drive every conversation to how men and women are fundamentally different. And anyone that tells you that's crazy, like, I see where he's trying to lead the conversation in a way where he's comfortable
Yeah.
talking about it.
And he was like, I'm going to take a note of that. We're going to come back to this discussion. And I was like, I don't think men and women are the same, but when it comes to a relationship, it's like you're basically one person at the end of the day. So they're the same. And he was like, I disagree. And the whole, like, after that, like the rest of the podcast, like he would find any time that he could to like sound bite me or like play the soundboard or like do something. And then after that, like I was like over it by the end of the show. But at the end of the podcast, they were reading the super chat. And of course, all of his fans were coming at me the whole time. And they were saying, like, oh, she doesn't like biological reality, meaning, like, you know, like, I don't like the fact that men can cheat and women can't.
Yeah, that's
And
a biological reality. Apparently, on
yeah,
in the Fresh and Fit universe, it's just understood by the men, of course. The women, they still haven't got that memo. We're working on that, boys. Yeah.
yeah. And then I basically just like, that's my time. Like, I took it as my time to shine because it was like final thoughts. And they were like, oh, but do you have a rebuttal against that? And I basically said, it's not that I don't like this biological reality. It's the fact that I don't like that your podcast sits here and likes to normalize this thing. And he was like, oh, you think we normalize these things? And I said, yeah, I think you like to sit here and say that men can cheat and women need to get over it. And he went quiet and he said, well, I think women can cheat. And I said, at the end of the day, no one should be sitting here talking about cheating and how it's okay and how I have to deal with it if a man has a Rolls Royce or this and that. Because at the end of the day, no one gives a crap about that. Like, I don't care what you have. All I care about is respect. And then and I also had said to him too, like, why do you want to feed into this stereotype that women want money, but you sit here like and feed into it? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But
Well,
I guess,
the double standard to me that's always funny is like they want a young, beautiful, perfect-bodied woman, right? That's all they care about. They want them dumb and young. And so, if a woman wants you for your money, what's the fucking difference between the two?
yeah, but he said something along that line during the podcast where, well, those are my standards. And like, he said that he basically says the same thing that he did for the Australian people, where he said, open on my end, closed on yours. Like, that's his whole mindset. And it's just embarrassing. But it was just funny to see like my experience with him afterwards, which was, after the show ended, they gave us a ride home. So we had gotten into the car, and they closed off the podcast talking about you. They said, "Oh, well, this guy just challenged us." And also, by the way, they subscribe to you. They're subscribed to the H3 podcast.
Of course they are. And by the way, that invite is still open, which they're too cowardly to accept. It's pathetic at this point.
Well, after they said like, "Oh yeah, we're going to take on the challenge," when they said it on live, we had gotten into the car afterwards, and it was me, my friend, Fresh and Fit, and then another girl from the show. And as we were driving back to my friend's apartment, they started talking. I basically brought it up, and I was like, "So you guys are going to debate Ethan?" And they said, "Nah, we're not going to do it. Like, he's just going to make fun of us the whole time." And I was like, "I don't think he would do that." But
me,
like,
I would never do that.
Yeah.
No, but I actually am. I am genuinely interested in having discussing these issues with them. Not that I think it's like I don't think you can really get anywhere with them. But there you go. You see, their whole plan from the beginning was to dodge us.
Yeah, they were basically saying all of that, and then we got back to the apartment, and I left my wallet in. I guess it was a gift from God, but I left my wallet in Myron's car because he was the one driving, and my friend's keys were in my wallet, so we had to get the wallet back because we couldn't get back into the apartment. Mind you, it's like 5 a.m. in Miami. And we start calling Walter. He's not answering. It's like a whole game of cat and mouse. And Myron gets the wallet. And Walter was like, "Oh, he wants your friend's number if he's going to bring back the wallet," meaning me. So I was like, sure. Like, I need my wallet. Like, I'm not going to text this guy anyways. So he gets my number and he brings back the wallet. And I had basically texted him saying, like, don't steal my wallet, like, before he put it back. And then he started talking about how I look like Tim Pool. And I was like, what?
Sorry?
Was he? Yeah, is that his way of coming on to you?
I guess. I thought, I don't know. It was just, he sent me a picture
I tell that to Hila sometimes when I want to be really nice, when she looks really good. Babe, you look like Tim Pool.
Damn, he's got such game.
Can I see a picture of you? Or do you not want me to draw attention to it?
I mean, if I could turn on the camera. I just don't want to show my face on the stream.
Well, I want to rate you on a scale of Tim Pool.
I think I'm pretty Tim Pool.
To regular.
You know what the problem is though? It's definitely not me.
I think I sent a few pictures to Sam.
All right, let's pull it up. So go continue on with his attempting at courting you while I pull up this. Yeah.
So so he said I look like Tim Pool, and then I guess that was his way of flirting. I don't know. And then he tried to maintain a conversation with me like through text, and I was like not answering him because I had gotten my wallet back. And I only had about like 3 more days I had left in my trip, and me and my friend were saying like, it would be fun to sit here and like make him look dumb. Like, he sits here and he thinks that he can get all these women, but then a 19-year-old like doesn't rejects him. So basically he kept like texting me every day. Like, when I wouldn't respond, he would just say hello, like called me. I never answered. And then eventually I was like,
a little desperate.
And I was like, if I'm going to hang out with him, like, I'm okay to hang out with him to like, cause like you can't interrupt him on the podcast, but I can interrupt you at dinner. So I basically said, you know what? If we're going to hang out, I want to eat dinner or go to lunch. Simple. And he said, well, you can come to my place and see if you can handle me. And wow. I was like, no, he said, if you can handle this. And I said,
wait, hold on. I have a picture of you. Hold on. I don't know. I hate to break it to you, but
yeah, I'm pretty Tim Pool. That
is a spitting image of, I don't know if you can see it. It is literally a picture of Tim Pool. I'm not making fun of the way you look.
No, I was supposed to stay anonymous. Why'd you guys show a picture of me?
Yeah, sorry. Well, if you want to be anonymous, we don't have to pull it up. No big deal.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's just because like I'd rather not like get wrapped into their BS, because you can't, if you take one of their brooms and beat them up with it, it's a big deal. But I don't know if you remember him saying that. If you go to his broom shop.
What?
Oh yeah, something about beating up each other with a broom or some shit.
Right. Yeah. That was.
I think The broom is interesting. I think he's tapping into some trauma. Did you find a picture, Sam?
But yeah, so basically he throughout the
By the way,
throughout
sorry,
the
I gotta cut you off.
Yeah, it's okay.
This person just said she's definitely trolling y'all. I should have said this at the top. We've confirmed that she's been on the show. She was there. This is all. This is a real person who's been on the show. We confirmed it. So I should have said that at the top. But all right, let me see. I got a picture. Oh my God, dude! What the hell? Should I show it or no? Oh, don't show it.
Yeah, don't.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to show it.
No.
Oh, don't show it.
You could describe it. I mean.
All right, she's wearing a beanie. She appears to be bald.
Yeah, it's me.
No, she's a young, beautiful. She's a young, beautiful girl that looks nothing like Tim Pool.
I don't see any resemblance whatsoever. So.
But that's
really
an interesting. That's an interesting pickup line.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it's a conversation starter. There you
Yeah,
go.
he that's how he started it all. But from there, he just basically just kept texting me like every day, like hey, like and like he would ask to hang out, but I would make up an excuse, like, oh no, sorry, I have to do something today. Sorry, I'm hanging out with my friend.
That's awesome.
And I basically I would hint at it like several times, not hint at it, but I would say like, if we're gonna go out, can Izzy and Walter? So can my friend and Walter come? And he was like, oh, well, you can't leave your friend alone. And I was like, not really. Because it was basically, I never wanted to be alone with him at all. I did not want to be alone with him. And so the days go by and it's my last day in Miami. And I thought it was going to be my last day, but I had got stuck there because of a snowstorm back at home. So I thought it was my last day, and me and my friend had gone out to the club that was around her area. And when we went in there, we were doing our own thing, and Walter had showed up, and he came up to us. Like, we went to his table, he was talking to us, and he comes straight up to me and he says, well, Myron wants you. And I said, a child? Like, because I know I'm not a minor.
I mean, you're 19, and
I'm freshly out of being a minor.
yeah,
like,
I mean, you practically just finished high school at that point, right?
Yeah, I probably just finished my first year of college, but
and so was it weird for you for this 35-year-old man to be so persistently pursuing you?
Yeah, it was very. What I describe it as, like, when I like on the podcast, I was sick to my stomach just being on the podcast itself, but like just being in his presence, like later in the night, I felt very sick because it was just weird, like just like.
So I find it odd too that his buddy, these guys they're like kindergartens. Like, he's sending his buddy to be like, hey, you want to go on a double date? Or, yo, my buddy really likes you. It's like, dude, this guy talks about alpha maleness. He's sending love notes through his buddy, which is cute, if it's age appropriate.
I think they said that there's a rule that for a guy to date someone, it's half your age plus 7 or something, like 12. And I am pretty sure I'm way below that, even if that was a rule.
What's the rule? I haven't heard
it's
that.
I think half your age plus 7 is the one that I've heard many times. And I don't think 19 would be acceptable under that rule to a 30.
Wait, that's interesting. So wait, I'm 36. So I go times 2 plus 7?
No, divided by 2 plus 7.
It would be 25. A girl would have to be 25?
That seems young for me. 25?
I mean, this is not an actual rule.
This isn't like a law or
people
anything.
say. Yeah. As kind of just like a guideline. But yeah, I mean, if he's 35.
So wait, if you're 60, wait, I'm interested by this rule. So it's minus 2.
No, divided by 2.
Yeah. Plus 7. 37 if you're 60. See, that seems fine to me. I mean, obviously a big gap. Okay.
But yeah, if it was an actual rule, he would have failed that one.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rough. But he, I basically said to Walter, like, a child, like, I'm young. And I said, what is it so attractive about me that he wants me this bad? That it's been like 3 days that he can't get out of my cell phone. And also he talks about being this famous #1 men's podcast, but you're stuck on a 19-year-old.
#1 men's podcast. What does that even mean?
Like,
Number one human
I
trafficking podcast in the world. It's not, the competition isn't tight.
yeah, no, it's, but when I had asked him, like, what is it about me that he's so attracted to? He said, you're his type. Again, I said a child. And he said, he said, no, he said, no, you're just his type. And I said, can you elaborate? But he wouldn't elaborate. So I said to him, I said, I disagree on everything that he says. I'm pretty sure I look pretty young, and I don't know what it is like about whatever. So we get to the point of my Walter just keeps saying that Myron wants me. And I was like, okay, then I'll get back to him later in the night. And I was trying to avoid him as much as possible. And then the night goes on, and I have like a drink or two with my friend, and I'm like ready to eat food with everybody. So we tell Walter, can we go get food? And he's like, yeah, sure. Like, let's get in the car. So we get in the car. My friend is in the front seat. I'm in the back seat. Walter's in the front, and they're driving. And Myron just kept saying like, oh, do you want to go get something to eat? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, let's go with my friend and Walter. And he was like, yeah, sure. I also tried getting Myron out to the club. So again, like, I didn't want to be alone with him. And he refused to go to the club because he said clubs for losers, but it's great for girls. I don't know what he meant by that. But so Walter, my friend was like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, let's get food with each other. And Walter looked over and like signaled her like, no, like, we're not doing that. So eventually, like, we pull up in front of the podcast apartment, and Myron's coming out of the building, and I get out of the car, and Walter leaves with my friend and took her to like another club. So I'm with Myron by myself. So we get into his car, and he drives us to like this like this spot. I don't know why it was open at 5 a.m., but we sat down, we ate food. And mind you, from the minute I saw him when I got out of the car to the minute that I left with him, I was debating him the whole time, and not even debating, just telling him how much I hate his views and like him himself. And fun fact, he told me that he's never been in a relationship. So I had asked him, so what gives you the right to sit there and have a podcast about dating advice?
Wait. He's never been in a relationship?
That's what he claimed. He said that, yeah, he's had a few girls here and there. I think he mentioned it on the episode that I was on too, but he said that he's never been in a relationship before.
So you're telling me these toxic red pill this theory of men can cheat, women can't, has not worked out for him really at all, has it? Which is so unexpected.
Yeah.
By the way, I don't know if you can see my screen, but this is what you could have been like if you would have only accepted Fit into your life. You know, you guys could have been a beautiful couple like these two here. Think you're really missing out on something special.
So frustrating.
Yeah, it was just.
So they got you alone with him.
Yeah, so basically my friend was alone with Fresh and I was alone with Fit. Perfect.
Jesus.
It was a perfect night. And we get to like this restaurant, and I basically ask him like, what are your political views? I'm asking about all of his views. Because I'm thinking like, if Walter's this nice off camera, maybe Myron's the same way. Nope, I was wrong. In fact, he's worse. But so yeah, whatever. The whole time I'm just like asking him his views. I'm debating him. He said something about like the thing too that his habit is that he spits out vocab vomit, and he thinks that he sounds smart. But it's like, I'm confused. Like, speak, like, we're off camera. You can speak English now, not red pill beta. Like, no. Yeah. And he just doesn't stop. So like, I'm just like, whatever. So that's the whole conversation throughout the dinner. And then we're driving back, and mind you, I had said like, oh, we're going to go meet my Walter and my friend now. Right. And he said, yeah. I'm talking to him. I'm facing him in the driver's seat. I'm still going. I'm passionate and heated, telling him my views and stuff. And we end up back at the podcast studio. So I'm like, like I'm ready to go home, and we get back up into the podcast studio and we go inside, and he's like, oh, I'm just picking up something. I just had to grab something from the studio. And again, it's like 4 or 5 a.m. in Miami, and like no one's in the studio, but the lights are all on. They have everything set up, and I already knew the way of the apartment. So I'm sitting in the kitchen area of the podcast studio, and he comes over to me and he says, of course you would wear your shoes, because I forgot to take off my shoes.
What?
And yeah. And he was like, of course you would wear your shoes. And then I had like this little vape that my friend had, and I think I hit it once, and he goes, oh, and of course you would do that in here too. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I started laughing because I thought he was joking, but he seemed very upset. So I was like, okay. So he said, oh, you can just go to the balcony with your shoes and everything. And I was like, okay. I'm walking out to the balcony and there's like a door that I hadn't seen open before. Like basically it's an apartment that they made into a studio. So that was the bedroom. So I'm walking like towards the bedroom into the balcony, like towards the balcony, and he's standing in the door frame and he just grabs my face and kisses me.
Wow. There you go. He was reading the
And
room, good at reading the signals.
yeah. And
Awesome.
kisses me. I'm like, no thank, like, I'm like, no thanks. Mind you, this man is like 6'7".
Did he
He's
lead?
already
Did he lead with tongue or no?
I don't even like thinking about it. I just
Right.
feel like
I'm
he
sorry.
just
I
kissed
should.
me. No,
Right.
it's okay.
Right. Let's not relive that moment.
But he had kissed me, and then I just was like, no thanks, like, whatever. And I was by myself with him, and I had like a bad experience from a past relationship. So also he's very like aggressive online. So I didn't know what he was capable of if I denied it. So I just pushed him off and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna go to the balcony. And he goes, you need mouthwash.
Ew,
And
what? Oh my
he was
God,
like,
bro.
you need mouthwash. I'm pretty sure I think I sent some text over to Sam because I was
got the
texting my
text here.
friend. I was texting my friend the whole time, and you see me say like he just told me to get mouthwash or something.
Here, let me pull up this text. Again, guys, we have receipts. This is fully vetted. Bro, mine just grabbed me to make out, and he goes, get your Listerine. You taste like alcohol. No, he obviously knows you came from the club. He's disgusting. Wait till I get home. Is Walter driving you? Yes, I'm still at the club, though. Ask Walter if he can pick me up from the studio to drive us both home. I'm about to walk. Answer now. She's all worried about you. Bro.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Please let me know. Are you okay? I'm good. Bro, he's disgusting.
Before you continue.
Oh, you want me to stop?
It's good. Yeah. You can continue after like I finish because like it's just like the timeline order because it's gonna be like a big. I'm leading up with the suspense, But
go ahead, yeah.
I come back from the balcony because I again like I went to the balcony and tried to stay as much as I could out there so he could just like be like, okay, like let me bring her home now, like get tired of me basically. So I come back in the room and then I go to the bathroom, like in the kitchen. He's like, that's not where the mouthwash is. So I was like, oh, okay, where's the mouthwash? And he points to like the bedroom bathroom.
Are you a little scared at this moment?
I was very uncomfortable. I was very I didn't know, again, like a lot of people, I didn't want to speak out about this either. Cause again, like there's alcohol involved, like a lot of women try to speak out about stuff like this. And you usually get the whole, like you asked for it if you didn't do this or that, the third. But like when I was in that moment, like it was like a fight or flight or like freeze. So I basically froze. Like I didn't know what to do, but I was just like keeping in touch with my friend. Like, hey, like, what are you guys doing? Like, can we just go home? But yeah, I mean, he was like trying to keep me there.
At this moment, it does sound a little scary that you're in this studio with this massive dude. He's just come on to you. He tried to kiss you. You rejected him. And now he's kind of ordering you around to mouthwash. Because at that point, it's like, well, why am I mouthwashing? Are you going to try to make out with me more?
Yeah. And I didn't really see the point in doing the mouthwash of like, I don't know. So I just go into this bathroom that he led me to. Like, he didn't lead me to, he just pointed to it. And also, I always forget this part whenever I tell this story, but like a little bit beforehand, I had opened the fridge before like he kissed me and stuff. I had opened the fridge and I saw like he had White Claws, like because they have like alcohol in the fridge and stuff. And they had a White Claw in the fridge, and I was like, "Oh, White Claw!" I was like, "Oh, can I have one?" Like as a joke, and he was like, "Yeah, you can have one, but just don't tell anybody."
Well, you broke that promise.
Yeah, sorry, Myron, but. So fast forward, I'm in this bathroom. I'm standing in the bathroom, like trying to kill time again, like I did on the balcony. And when I come out, he's like laying on this bed.
So wait, you were in the bathroom for a long time, just trying to kill time?
Yeah. I was just like, cause hopefully like I was hoping like time would go by and he would get tired and say like, oh, you have to go, like.
So you were just in the bathroom for a long time? You probably thought you were shitting or something.
Yeah. I was dropping a grumpy, but.
Oh yeah.
And I come back out and I was wearing like a fresh, sorry guys, excuse me. But I was wearing a Fresh and Fit hoodie and because they have like a room full of merch, but I asked them, where does it go? They say nowhere. So they all just collectively wear Fresh and Fit like all day long, but whatever. So I'm like standing up next to this bed and I'm texting my friend like because we're just keeping in touch with each other back and forth, like what's going on. And she wanted to go home. I wanted to go home, but moral of the story, it's the guys were texting and the girls were texting. So like I kept telling Myron, like, I want to go home. Like, Izzy's waiting for me. Like, can we go? And Walter said to my friend at the club, he said, why are you texting her? Why are you texting your friend to go home? Like it was basically like Myron was telling Walter, like, why is her friend telling her to go home? Like, it was just a whole ping
What
pong
on
thing
earth,
going
dude?
on.
You're telling him you want to leave. Like, what the fuck? Is it in some remote area where you kind of feel like stuck there without assistance? Like, where are you?
It was like Miami's very city like, so like it wasn't like I was alone, but like I don't know, I just didn't know my way around anywhere. So I was just like, I didn't know what I was doing. And
Right,
also
it's
like I
not
didn't
your
have
city.
the keys. Yeah, I didn't have the keys to my friend's apartment, so I didn't feel like going, like taking an Uber there and just waiting.
Right.
So that's when I had asked her, like, oh, can you have him drive to here to pick me up? And he was refusing, and it was just a whole thing. And then so at this point, like I'm standing next to this bed, and then I'm like trying to, like, again, like give him cues, like I want to leave, I don't want to be here. And he's like, oh, you can sit on the bed. So I sit on the bed, and I'm sitting at the edge of the bed, like the memes, how they say how girls are. And I'm sitting at this edge of the bed. He's like, oh, you can come up a little bit more. So now I come up, but I leave a nice gap between the both of us where it's like very obvious, like I don't like you, that I'm leaving a gap between us. And I'm on my phone. He's on his phone. And I remember, again, I was speaking about my views. Once again, he just jumps on top of me and starts making out with me.
Wow.
Like trying to kiss me and stuff. And so I'm like, I have my hands like on him where it's like I don't want him like laying on me like intimately, so I'm just holding my hands up, and I'm like, no. Like, this was about like max a minute long, and I was wearing like this shirt, and it's like a very loose shirt, whatever. And he basically lifts up the shirt and made a comment, and then I was like, I'm done, I'm over this. Like, and
Wait,
I
he
said
lifted
to him,
up your shirt and kind of looked at underneath it and commented?
Yeah, my chest, because I have
Dude.
piercings.
I'm sorry, you said what?
No, I said I have piercings, so he made a comment on it.
Oh, okay.
And it was very creepy. It was
so
very weird.
I don't want to. This is bad. This is very bad. This is a very disturbing story, actually.
Yeah, it's interesting, but at that point,
I think he may have assaulted you. I mean, at this point, I
mean, I don't want to say that, but like again, like it was my experience.
He also implicationed you a little bit too. The way they split you guys up, and I think you got implicationed. I think you got dentist systemed. If you know what that is.
Yeah. No.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's always something.
It's okay. But yeah, no. So
what's going through your mind as it's lunging on you now?
It was very quick. So I was just like, no, like right away in my head, I was like, no, I don't want to have like sex with this person. Like, I don't. So I like, as soon as he like makes that comment, I push him off me and I say, I verbalized to him, I said, I don't want to have sex with you. Did you think I came here to have sex with you? And he got very mad. Like, he just got mad. Like, he did like a little toddler thing where he was huffing and puffing, went and goes on his phone. And he just like went silent. And I was like, okay, like and I changed back into the outfit that I had in the bathroom. And I came out, I give him the merch back, and I say, okay, can you bring me home now? And because my friend was also like drunk at the club with Walter. And she was texting me saying like, I'm going to walk home because he's not bringing me home. And it was just like a whole big
True
thing
gentlemen.
going on.
Neither, both of them are refusing to give you guys rides home.
Yeah, so I had asked Myron, I said, can you drive me to my friend's apartment? And he said, no, I parked my car already.
Awesome.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to order my Uber now. And he was like, okay. Like, just acting like a complete toddler. Like, in my entire, like, I felt like I was looking in the face of a 15-year-old, like a 15-year-old boy that like, oh, I didn't give him a kiss or whatever. Like, but at that point, excuse me, I feel like I got the burp. But I order my own Uber, and I'm walking out, and I'm like, oh, my Uber's coming. Like, can you walk me downstairs? Because I didn't know how to work this building. So he walks me to the elevator, pushes the button, and walks away. like with no comment. He just pushes the button and walks back into the studio. And I get into my Uber. And like at that point, I think that's when it kicked in. I started crying because I was like, I don't know what just happened, but I feel uncomfortable. And I that's where you could read the rest of the messages with my friend because I mentioned everything in there.
You started crying? I
Yeah.
don't blame you. That whole thing is really traumatic. And I'll tell you what, I actually didn't know how crazy this story gets at the end. I'm sorry you went through that.
Yeah, it's all right. I just want to bring it more awareness.
I mean,
to
wow,
this type of stuff.
The thing that's really crazy is like, if you're hanging out with somebody, you know, you don't always have to give someone a ride home. But what's messed up is they intentionally split you guys up. And then he took you all the way out to the studio and then basically stranded you there. He's like, well, if you want to leave, you got to fucking pay for your own ride. I mean, what the fuck, dude? But anyway, it's a good thing he didn't give you a ride home because who knows what else he would have tried on you. Okay, so let me read this. He's disgusting. Wait till I get home. Is Walter driving you home? Yes, I'm still at the club, though. Ask Walter if he can pick me up from the studio to drive us both home. I'm about to walk out. Answer, bro. Please let me know if you're okay. I'm okay. Dude, he's disgusting. I'm making him drive me home right now. Are you going home? Yes, I'm going home soon. Okay, I'm going to make him drive me home right now. Myron just tried to have sex with me. I said no, and he's mad because I said no. Lol, the fuck did he expect? Dude, when are you going home? He's a fucking weirdo. Is Walter bringing you home? Because I told Myron you're going home right now so he can Uber me home. I'm leaving soon, but if he knows Walter is taking you home, he's going to be weird. Why is he texting Walter? I think so, but wait, leaving with Walter, right? Leaving now, yes. Leave now. What are you doing 1 minute away? I'm getting my Uber. 3 minutes away. Bro, Byron's a fucking piece of shit. Home. Need me to come down and wait? Now, I'm getting my Uber. Blah, blah, blah. Yes, please, Kay. Bro, I want to cry. I'm coming. We'll talk. I'm coming down the block. I hate to say it. I don't want to make you feel some type of way, but that was super that's crazy.
The best part is the day after. This is the best
wait,
part of
there's
the whole
more?
story. Yeah, and wait, there's more. So,
and remember, this is a 35-year-old man who's stranded this 19-year-old girl in his apartment, trying to get her drunk all night, jumping on top of her, and then making her get her own ride home after he doesn't get what he wanted from you. Wow. Okay, so what happened the next day?
So basically, I sent those over too, but
Wait, there's more? Should I open something else? Screenshots of text from Myron. Should I look at this?
Yeah. Just for backstory too. When I had gotten back to my friend's apartment, I told her what had happened. I was like telling her like this is what happened, and we basically agreed. I was like, okay, let's go to sleep, and in the morning, if I say the story the same way I did last night, then it happened. Because I felt like I was imagining the whole thing. So she was like, okay, so we go to sleep. We wake up the next day, and the first thing we did when we woke up is like, I told her the whole story again. And she was like, yep, everything's the same way you said it before. And then right away, I look at my phone and there's a text from Myron. And then that's where you can read those texts.
Okay, here we go from Myron. I don't know if yesterday was planned with you, but it wasn't cool. I really didn't think you were that type of girl. Oh, he's mad at you?
Yeah, he was very mad because I didn't give it up. I say it further in the text.
So first thing in the morning, he's texting you hate messages. I don't know if yesterday was playing with you and your friend, but it wasn't cool. I really didn't think you were that type of girl. Very disappointing. Type of girl what? To just want to hang out and not want to fuck me the minute you see me? So you say, what do you mean by that type of girl, and what do you think could have been planned between us? If I can't get an explanation what that type of girl is, then don't label me as that. You know what you did? Actually don't, so please enlighten me. You could come over and we can talk about it. How does this guy still want to hang out? He's still trying to get you back to his house. Holy shit.
Yeah, and during this time, like, I didn't want to say it right away. I'd rather him say it for himself. Like, you know, like, this is why I'm mad. And that's why you see me, like, avoiding it at first. I'm like, no, what did I do? What did I do? And he just never says it. But he keeps going. He says, like,
so you say, I'll continue. Say, what makes you think I would want to come over after you saying I had possibly planned something then saying, I know what you did. You know what you did, he says, or wait, no. Not to my apartment. I was going to meet in the lobby and talk about it. Did you not read what I said? You're also texting me in a rude way and childishly saying you know what you did, but won't exactly explain what that meant or what you think I'm planning, and disregarded my question as to what the type of girl meant because I honestly want to know. Exactly. You can't call me anything because you're quiet. Don't project your anger onto me because I don't want to have sex with you. Who's this?
Yeah, he tried to play the card. Oh, I don't know who this is. I deleted your number. Like that really pulled a heartstring on that one. I cried for days.
Wait.
But
He said that a day later or later that night? How long?
yeah, no, because I after I had sent those texts, like there's the two last bubbles you see, the one before that, before you see the date, he didn't answer me for a few days, and I had gotten home from Miami, and I was like, he's not responding to me, so I might as well just say my piece, and then that's it. So that's when I had said what I said, like a few days
said,
later,
"Who's
and he
this?"
answered. Yeah.
Can I put a theory forward about
Yeah, you
these
can.
text messages and tell me what you think? Because obviously, if this happened to you, it's happened to a lot of people, I think. He preemptively texts you in the morning and accuses you of doing something, and he won't say what it is. Is he trying to give himself some kind of alibi in case there's any allegations against him? Because he fucked up, and it will look really, 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 really bad if you told this story. So that's how I read this, is he's like, I'm going to send this message saying you did something, and I'm not going to say what it is, so that if there's ever her trying to expose me, I have these texts that apparently you did something and I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What else? What do you think he's trying to do with these texts?
I think he was just like, I don't know. I agree, but I also like felt like I think he really believes himself. Like I'm some type of girl. Like how dare you not want to have sex with me?
Sure, could have been genuine.
I have all these cars and all this money, and how dare you? Like I didn't know you were that type of girl to have respect for yourself. I think that's what he got. Like,
right. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm so disappointed that our elaborate plan to separate you two and sleep with you both after meeting you once. I'm so disgusted by you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt like, because I really think he lives in a world, like I think he believes everything he says. Like I do believe he's insecure, but everything that he says, I think he genuinely believes.
Well,
like,
he's never had a girlfriend, and he's.
Yeah, he said something too
35.
along the lines, like on the episode I was on. He said that he never chased after girls in school because it was a distraction. And another friend of mine said, just say you didn't get girls. It's simple. Just say that. But
what's weird is, like, if he wasn't such a creepy, brain rotted weirdo, like he's tall and he's fit in the name, you would think that if you just would lighten up a little bit and be like a reasonable, normal guy, he had no problem attracting women and getting into a relationship. But there's something.
Probably not with a 19-year-old.
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, but there's something so disturbed about him. And I don't know if you were watching before, but he was a federal agent for human trafficking. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. So my friend that lives across the street from like a prison, and when he had dropped off my wallet, he was like, "Oh, I was stationed here once," or something. He said something like that, and then that's when I found out that he used to be a law enforcement officer
for human trafficking department.
Yeah. Yeah. He
takes one to know one, I guess.
Yeah. That's how he caught them. He knew where they were.
Wow. Well, this took an unexpected dark turn.
You know, I basically, when I spoke to Sam, also Sam, she's amazing. She was very sweet.
Wait, who's Sam?
You're Sam.
Oh my God, what is wrong? Wait, hold on. I need a minute to recover. Give me a minute,
Start
please.
over if you need to.
I thought she was talking about her friend. I was confused. I thought she was talking about the other friend there. She kept referring to Sam, and I don't know why my brain. Sam, I know who you are. I appreciate everything you do. I know your name. I need a minute to recover, guys.
Man, it is a Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes. That's true. Oh, are you really the apology podium, Dan? Shredder's opposed. All right. Give me 1 sec. I just need to make a quick apology if you don't mind hanging on for a sec. Sam, you are loved. You are appreciated. You are seen. I'm well aware of your name. Congratulations on the weight loss, by the way. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm jealous, actually. You're talented, funny. Your name is Sam.
It is.
I know exactly who you are. I was confused. I thought maybe she was talking about her friend Sam, that maybe her friend's name was Sam.
It was me.
I was trying to connect the dots. It was actually Sam here on the crew. So I apologize, and it'll never happen again, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, keep this closer. Okay. I'm sure we'll need that again, Sam. Thank you, Dan. So, well, I'm not surprised, but I'm not surprised by your story, as horrific as it is. But
Yeah,
wow, what a piece of shit.
Yeah, I had told Sam, because the way that it happened was I was watching the videos, like it was crazy because the day of the episode I was on, it was your first like episode talking about Fresh and Fit, and I was like, there's no way. I was like, there's no way that my favorite podcast is talking about the podcast I'm about to be on right now. And then from then on, I've just been like, I watch the videos every day, but I would like watch the highlights of Fresh and Fit, and you would ask questions, and I would scream at my screen like, I know the answer, and I just got fed up, and I just DM'd everyone, and Sam got back to me, and yeah, I needed to speak out about this because I think you're the best podcast to speak out about it.
Thank you. Well, thanks for sharing that story. I actually think it's really valuable and a really good story, and I think it's brave of you to share it. I'm sorry you went through that. Really scary and kind of horrific. You know, it's times as a man you don't really understand sometimes how hard. What was that, Zach? Did you say something?
No.
What? You took off your headphones and went blah.
Sam was asked me something. So
okay. You responded really loud or something.
Apologies.
That's totally fine. You want the podium or no? Not podium worthy.
I'll let it slide.
I think it's really brave, and it's a reminder that, you know, a simple going out as a woman can become really scary, and it's not something that men generally think about. It's not, I mean, maybe some do, but it's easy to forget just how weird it can be out there as a woman, as a young woman. And, well, I guess stay safe. What's your advice? I mean, how do you avoid these kinds of situations? I mean, you never know. It could be, you never know, you know, it's hard to live your life. And
yeah, no, I feel like because a lot of people that I spoke to about the story, they told me, they're like, well, if you knew how he was like on the podcast, then like, why would you go on it? Or like, why would you hang out with him one-on-one? The thing is like, it's so like things are just so unexpected, and like the best thing you can do. I'm just glad that I made it out safe. So like,
yeah,
I'm a very big believer in God. So like, I think praying, again, like not everyone's like religious, but like, that's what I do. But I think it's really good to like speak out, of course, to like bring, that's why I wanted to bring awareness to it. So like people know that like you can share the story, and like, you're not like, you know, you're heard, like people hear you. So
look, it doesn't matter. You didn't deserve for all that to happen. And to be honest, like you said, he could have ended up being like a sweet guy. Like, I guess you never know in a way, but
yeah,
I guess sometimes a spade is a spade, or you know.
At least I mean, he might just be doing method acting. I don't know, but at least he sticks to his
deep method acting.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for letting me share my story.
Let us know I don't know what's going to be, if there's going to be blowback from this, but let us know if he starts trying to fuck with you, okay? You stay in touch with us, all right? Thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you so much. Peace and love always, too.
It's his fault. It's not your fault. You're great. You're smart. Go have a great
and a very good storyteller, I must say.
Great storyteller. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very, very great. And go out there and find yourself a man who
Some coconuts in Barbados.
Yeah, find yourself some coconuts in Barbados. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
This is a serious message. I didn't know that story was going to get so intense. But these red pill guys are dangerous. They're not. These guys are dangerous. Like, I thought Fresh and Fit, I was like, compared to Cobra, the human trafficker, these guys seem like,
just goofy, harmless.
Like Barney the dinosaur or something.
Yeah.
But no, they're actually dangerous too. I mean, how do you live? I don't understand the philosophy. Like, it's so self-defeating. The man is 35 years old. He has never been in a relationship. I mean, that's just sad. It's just sad.
I think, a lot of guys like him get stuck in sort of this self-perpetuating cycle where, they become more and more bitter because they have no success with women. And rather than examine that in an honest way, they just get mad and, concoct these elaborate narratives of the way the world works and how women really are and everything, to sort of shield their own egos from the fact that they're
shitty.
I mean, that it's really his own fault. I mean, it's his own shortcomings. Like you said, I mean, I'm not saying the guy is, because I think once we were like, oh, he's a decent looking guy, and everybody's like, no, he's fucking disgusting. But, like you said, he's tall.
He's tall. He's super.
He can be well
shape.
spoken.
Apparently, he has money.
Yeah.
So, like, in his world, he's like, that's all you need. I have everything. I've did the equation, but why women still don't want me? Mm-hmm. It's because you're fucking suck, bro.
Right.
You suck. You suck that bad that you have all those things and women still don't want you. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That you're, I mean, I don't want, it sounded to me like he assaulted her.
Yeah. Unquestionably.
Basically, that's what it sounded like to me.
This is the first time we've heard this story about him, but I'm going to bet right now it's not going to be the last, too.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be.
Sure, there's a good chance if that's kind of, and the way that, and these guys, man, I mean, this is a 19-year-old girl. What are you guys doing, taking them out and separating them and getting them drunk and you're not drinking? I mean, guys, what the fuck are you doing? My God. Yeah, so I don't know. These red pill guys they're not just harmlessly talking about dating advice. These guys are fucking dangerous, actually. Fresh and Fit, the human trafficker. I don't know what Rollo Tony Browntown's up to, but
yeah, we don't know enough about Rollo Tony.
I'm not going to accuse him of anything. But apparently, he's a family man. He's got daughters and shit. So shout out Rollo Tony. What are you afraid of, Ian?
I am in better shape than you are, Ethan.
Oh, yeah. Better to human traffic you. He's like, bro, you're so weak. You probably couldn't even restrain a girl against her will. I was like, that's true, actually. In the red pill community, fitness is important in case you need to restrain a woman. That's why we like to be fit. I was like, okay. Yeah, that's actually, I did not expect that twist, but that is disturbing, man. Holy shit, what a fucking loser and dangerous. I mean, she kept saying that Fresh was a nice guy, and he may well be, but he participated in that whole scheme to separate them and not give them ride home. Why are you trying so hard to have sex? There's got to be more to life than debasing yourself to trying to trick a 19-year-old that's sleeping with you.